I love it when people film things because no two shows are ever the same, so shit gets lost. And I want them to immediately put it up on YouTube so it's documented, because I have this feeling that there are time travelers among us. And they've already seen this night, which has already happened. And they're in the audience knowing what's going on, but they look like it was such a fun show that they came back through time, probably due to the discovery of the Higgs boson particle. Could have been that, and now that the fifth dimension has become unstuck in time. It could have been that, or maybe it was just like a Kurt Vonnegut novel where there's a time traveler, and he always has science fiction in his novels, like Slaughterhouse-Five. The protagonist is Billy Pilgrim, probably my favorite book ever written. And maybe Billy Pilgrim has become unstuck in time from planet Tralfamadore, and he's in the room right now and all stuff. So the girl that is filming me right now, she drove me here today from Peterborough, and she put on the show in Peterborough. And so this morning they said, "Do you want to come over to my mom's house? It's way out in the country." And what's the town called?
Yongala.
And I said, "Yeah." So I'm in my hotel room. And I go out to the country, like even more country than country could be. And they have this big table, and all the relatives are there in Australia with little kids running around. There's this huge table with like 30 seats. They bring out all these scrambled eggs and toast. And the lady, one of the ladies there she heard I was from Canada, from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and she kept saying, "We got maple syrup from Canada." I was like waiting for them to bring out like pancakes I could put it on. She wanted me to pour it on my bacon, and I didn't want to. And she wanted me to pour it on my toast. So I'm sitting there, and I meet her mom and her mom's brother, so her uncle and her mom's other sister, and I'm just minding my own business at the table. And then her grandma comes out, her nana, and she brings me some food, and she goes, "I just want to say how much I loved your show last night." And I hug her. And then the son looks at me, and he says, "We just found out some weird news yesterday about my mom. I thought that I came out of her vagina." Then he's saying this in front of her, he goes, "But she had a C-section. And so I thought that my older sister, which is her mom," he goes, "I thought she paved the way so that I could shoot out of the vagina, my mom's vagina." His mom's just standing there serving me eggs like I'm serving. And I started trying to clear my ears out, like, "Is this really happening right now?" He goes, "But she had a C-section too." And then he listens, he goes, "So my mom's had 3 kids, so she's had 3 forced entry traumas inside, but no forced outros out of her vagina." And I'm looking at him going, "Is this seriously? This is happening right now?" And I finally said to him, "Are you really saying what I think you're saying?" He goes, "Oh yeah, my mom's vagina is still tight." This is what he says to me. So I said, "You know this is going to come out on my show on stage, because this is too weird, and I can't believe that you're telling me this." And then he says, "Well, you know, Sonja, that's Sonja," because you know, she's a ranga. And I didn't know what a ranga was. And he goes, "And I guarantee she does her hair, but the carpet matches the drapes upstairs." And he goes, "And my mom was a ranga." And the mom goes, "My carpet definitely matches my drapes." I'm like, who are you people? And then he goes, "If you want to start a bushfire, talk to Nana." It was the greatest breakfast I've had. And I told him that in my life. So thank you for filming this. That will go back to Peterborough.
Or not.
No? Oh my God. Isn't that great? Like when I get back to America, where I live in San Diego and I start this tour, that's the first story I'm telling you in Chicago. People are going to love it. I thought my best Australia memory was about playing at the birth center. But this topped it. Because I played at a birth center in Adelaide. And I thought that it was a kind of a, what do you call it, a fundraiser for sick kids or something. And I just said, yes, I would do it. And I wasn't really listening when the girl asked me if I wanted to play the gig at this birthing center. And I didn't know what it was. And then she picked me up at the airport in Adelaide, which, by the way, I love your guys' airport. It's such a beautiful airport. This city is great what they're building. These crazy buildings and all this stuff's going on. I love Adelaide. So I fly in. I'm at the airport. She picks me up. She's really cool. She's got dreadlocks. Smells like patchouli. I smell like patchouli. So I'm like, this is one of my people. Even though I'm wearing a pinstripe coat, I'm actually very hippie-ish. I just like to dress somewhat nice every once in a while. So she picks me up at the airport, and I say, so is this like a benefit for kids with cancer or something? And she looks at me weird. She goes, what do you mean a benefit for kids with cancer? And I go, well, not for cancer, but obviously a benefit against cancer. She goes, no, this is for a birthing center. It's a fundraiser just so that we can keep the birthing center going because I'm operating an illegal birthing center. And I said, what do you mean a birthing center? She said, it's where I teach women about breastfeeding and giving birth, and women will give birth there. So I go there, and it's really hot. It's at our winter time in the U.S., so it's hotter than hell in Adelaide. And we walk into this place, there's no air conditioning, and it's packed. And so I sit down, and they say, hey, we have some food for you if you want some food. And I go, yeah. Can I have a cup of tea? So they go to give me a cup of tea, and I open the fridge to get some milk out to pour in my tea. And she goes, don't open that fridge. And I said, why not? And she said, there's nothing in there for you. That's all frozen placentas. The women eat it for protein, like their own placentas. And I looked at her and I said, oh, wow. And then right at that moment, this girl came up behind me and she goes, here's your veggie lasagna. And it had this sauce. And I go, are you sure it's not plasagna? And then she's looking at me kind of weird, and then I go to play the gig, and I sit down, and they introduce me, I come out on stage, and I'm playing it. I have my eyes shut because I was kind of nervous about the whole situation by now. And so as I have my tea, the lady goes, that milk you're drinking in your tea wasn't the right milk. Was that in the other fridge? I go, yeah. She goes, that's breast milk. So I spit it out before I started playing, so I'm like kind of grossed out. And then I playing with my eyes shut, I'm thinking, how do I get this taste out of my mouth? And then I look, and all the girls in the front row are topless, and they have like full on their breastfeeding their babies in the front row. So it's like 12 girls topless in the front row. And when I open my eyes, I go, this is awesome. This is better than going to a strip club. And they didn't think that was funny. See that? I had dug a hole for myself because I couldn't stop the words from coming out of my mouth. So then, luckily, this girl in the back who had dreadlocks, that was really cool, she was breastfeeding her baby, and she goes, will you do that song that you wrote with Jewel called You Were Meant For Me? I always loved that song. That was a real popular song down here. Will you please sing that song? And I said, yeah, I'll sing it. And she says, if you want, I can sing it with you. And I said, oh, well, okay, maybe after this song, because you're breastfeeding your baby. And she says, no, that's okay. Takes the baby off her boob and hands it to the other girl next to her who's breastfeeding one kid and gives that boob of her friend to the baby. Like her baby to a different boob. And I say to her, you can't do that. And I really don't know if you can. She says, have you ever heard of a wet nurse? And then she comes up on stage and plays this guitar. I said, you can play my guitar. And she's topless. And so her breast is sitting on the guitar. And like a little leakage is coming here on my guitar. And she plays. And she does the whole thing. So I sit down in the back and I'm starving because I didn't eat the lasagna because I was nervous about what I was doing. So somebody off the street comes in with these things that are like chocolate balls, chocolate cake balls on a stick. They look like lollipops, but they're chocolate. They had a whole bunch of them, so I go, I'll take 3 of those. I pay her like $6, and I have them, and it's so hot the chocolate starts melting. So I eat 2 of them fast, and I go into practically a sugar coma. My hands are shaking, and the 3rd one drips down right on my crotch. So the chocolate's melted there, so I go, shit. This girl, I go, can you do another song? And the girl goes, yeah. So she starts playing another song, and I walk to go into the bathroom, and I don't shut the door all the way, but it's kind of shut, but it's just open a crack. And I grab some toilet paper, white toilet paper, and I take the chocolate like that, and I wipe it off. And then I looked at it, I go, well, this is really good chocolate. So the chocolate's in there. And then right then these 2 girls barge in, and I'm going, and they go, oh my God. And I go, will you please your own placenta? I was like a Larry David moment. And then I had to walk out and play again, and they were going, that guy eats his own poo. So the tables got flipped on me, so. I could write a whole book of things that have happened to me in Adelaide. Man. Crazy. So here's the song that I first wrote when I